Dude, what are you doing? There is a dinosaur that needs finished, and you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there. There's a dinosaur over there that needs finished, and you haven't done it. Look at you. You're just lazy. You're so lazy. You're so lazy. Why are you so lazy? You're supposed to help me build the dinosaur, and instead you're just laying around like a bump on a log. Do you have any valid excuse for why you didn't help? Okay, I'll accept that as an answer. Hello everybody, I'm Grand Tito and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be sculpting this, a Microceratus from Jurassic World. This little dinosaur is the favorite species of director Colin Trevorrow, and it will play a pivotal role in Chaos at Curwood. Let's get started, shall we? First I made a skull and body using cardboard and aluminum foil, tracing it from a life-size sketch and building the necessary thickness with more foil. I started off by coating the head in Sculpting clay and baking it so that it's ready for the milliput that's soon to come. Next I ready a scotch tape sketch of the head and use it for skull reference. That way I can keep track of the eye socket, the nostrils, and the beak line of the dinosaur. Speaking of beaks, I decided to sculpt that part first. Since the skin flaps fold around the beak a little bit, it's important to start with the beak, and using a single layer of milliput, I covered the necessary area and added a sharp curved point at the end. And using a toothpick, I drew in the lines to give an illusion of keratin, which is what birds' beaks and even your fingernails are made of. After that I got to making the skin pattern. Now since this dinosaur hasn't been sculpted before and the reference image is just a 2D picture, I'm just sticking with the simple repetitive strategy of stamp sculpting, so I am using various hollow metal and plastic tubes to poke scales into the putty, and after a little while, we're finished. Next is some modifications to the armature. I start off by rounding off the edges of the legs, arms, and tail with my trusty hot knife, although I think in this circumstance I should have used the hot wire tool instead. After cutting things up and making them a little more round, I assemble the raw parts of the sculpture together and create a basic armature. And based on first impressions, this is definitely shaping up to look like a dinosaur. First we gotta do the limbs. I'm starting with the front arms, and I'm using a foam core covered in foil, and I'm using 4 small pieces of the metal tube for the fingers, and I'm using detailed milliput for the bulk and detail. Using a toothpick and the metal tubes, I just drew away and had a bit of fun with scale patterns. After sculpting the hands, I got a bit impatient and I wanted to see what the dinosaur would look like with its head on, and at this point, I thought it looked pretty good, so it's time to continue. I did the same process with both legs as I did with the arms, starting at the end with the feet and working my way up to the thigh. I then finally got to work on the rest of the body, but I realized that I was running very low on building materials, so I sent one of the Grantitos to the art store while I kept sculpting with what I had. While Grantito is shopping, perhaps I can interest you in something you could shop for. My good acquaintance Gavin Robinson from the Dinosaur Creations and my Jurassic Park page website has an awesome set of crowdfunders that need you. That's right, you! With your help, Gavin can fund these awesome 3D printable busts of the Mosasaurus, T-Rex, and more dinosaurs to come. And with Chronicle Collectibles dead and out of the way, Gavin is a far cheaper alternative to get you some sweet Jurassic Park busts. The link will be in the description below, and your support would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's check and see how Grantito's doing on the road.
Milliput!
Oh, never mind, there it is. Despite getting an additional whopping 11 sticks of milliput, I still couldn't cover the whole dinosaur, so I actually turned to a cheaper alternative called Loctite. This stuff is easier to find and is a bit cheaper, but I will say that it smells like diarrhea and it hardens in about 5 minutes, so working with it requires very quick sculpting. As you can see, it bonds very well with the milliput and is accepting of my sculpting tools, despite the obvious difference in color. With the sculpture finally completed and looking quite adorable, it was time for the fun part: painting! I started off by giving this dinosaur a long base coat bath, and the shampoo of choice was a Citadel paint called Everland Sunset. Next was a secondary base coat color called Pueblo Orange, which makes the skin resemble the orangey yellow color of the male Microceratus on the Jurassic World website. If I was painting the female, I could have just stuck with the yellow, but this is the male rendition with the blue. Next, I mixed two types of red acrylics called Flamenco Red and Dark Red, and I brushed this mixture across the face, neck, body, tail, as well as the thighs, knees, and feet of the dinosaur. Then came the banded stripes on the tail, which was the same red mixture but with an additional squirt of pure brown, making it look nearly purple in contrast. Carefully, I painted on the signature blue stripes of this Microceratus face, using an acrylic sky blue for the shield stripes and using Aethermatic blue Citadel paint for the snout and cheek. After adding some black stripes to the shield and face, I moved on to the bodily patterns using a mix of black and brown. And after giving my dinosaur a quick, well-deserved pedicure, I ended up with, drum roll please, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!